found solace in Christ, which is really, is not funny, but that you understand that the church as an organization has really got some big cracks in it, and not wise in many, many ways. And so you grow up trapped, I think, and like I say, I'm learning, and hopefully our audience. Education is you don't know. I mean, we go a lot of places, and it's really interesting, because afterwards, when you leave, they say, "Oh wow, they're wonderful, Father. They're wonderful," right? What does Stacy say? Right? Oh, the freakos, right? I didn't know that they were like that. Like they were like that.
God, we're people.
We're just
people. And there's a huge amount of diversity among us, just like there is in the general populace. But we're people, just like everybody else. There's really, aside from the fact that we've changed our gender, we're just like everybody else. So it's, we're not free.
We're just trying to live normal lives.
Exactly.
At this point.
Normal lives under extraordinary conditions.
Right.
Huh? I mean, normal lives, and when you said health care, I mean, access to health care,
right.
Mental health care would be, so that people can get through, I think would be,
right.
All those things.
So living as normally as we can, given some of the additional challenges that we face for our safety, our employment.
But access, how do you access health care? I mean, I know that you have burdens. I'm well aware. I've learned that you have serious burdens, serious barriers, and things to jump over just in health care.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. Health care for a lot of us, there is no health care. Personally, I was lucky. I was able to virtually complete my transition. But it was a tough road, and that is the insurance doesn't pay for any of this if you're lucky enough to have insurance, and a lot of us, especially those of us that are unemployed, do not have insurance. But it takes a huge amount of money, and the resources are out there. The facilities are out there, the doctors are out there, but basically you need resources to access that.
Right.
And
it's not free.
It's not free.
It's not free, but it's but again, as Callie says, all the resources are there.
Right.
Scientifically, they know what they're doing,
exactly.
Right? I mean, that's the.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's for us, for in this room we're all male to female transsexuals. We do have a female to male transsexual in our group, and certainly would welcome more. But for us, all the surgeries are very well perfected. It's quite amazing, but it's expensive, and at this point, insurance is not covering it. And if you're unemployed, you're pretty much out of luck, unless you've got a big pile of cash somewhere.
Right.
If you can't access medical care in a legal manner, what do you do?
Well, I think there are options that people take, none of which any of us would recommend, but
there are certainly things that people take desperate measures. I can tell you from personal experience that I had surgery in Montreal not that long ago, and some of the people that I met there were from Canada. One from Alberta, one from Edmonton, and they had sort of transplanted themselves to those locations, because if you move to Canada, the Canadian government will pay for some of this, and they were able to get their surgeries paid for by the Canadian. They had to go live in Canada for I think a year before that, but they were able to do that. But I've seen people doing that, and that's one of the more legitimate things you can do.
Right. I mean, I certainly understand why people take some of the measures that they do. It's desperation. If I was in that position, I can't say that I wouldn't. Fortunately, I'm not in that position.
Well, fortunately, a very intelligent lady. You have a decent job with a place that is friendly, gender right,
Yeah.
trans friendly, and so that yes, but it appears that you're actually it appears that everybody at this table is unique in some ways. Well, I can't say. Okay, you've struggled obviously right beside me. I have Elise who's had has had really struggles and not the best time over the couple of years I have known her, and things could have been a lot easier, but both of you have a little a step up than what I read about what is average.
We are not typical. We have been.
Right.
We have both been very lucky in this. It's still a difficult road, but for myself, I started my transition at a somewhat later age. I'm not going to say how old I was when I started, but
you can keep that secret.
But I was. It's not. But I was. It's not unusual to transition. At the age I started at, it's fairly common. But I had some resources behind me. Because of that, I had some cash behind me and certainly real estate, things like that. So I was able to complete my transition. For somebody starting at a much younger age, that basically is just getting started, somebody in their teens or early 20s that hasn't had a chance to do things like build up a nest egg or have real estate that they can borrow against, things like that. It can be very, very difficult.
The other, even when you start out, I guess there's hormones and medical stuff that you need right from the beginning that is costly.
Oh yeah.
And I was watching I was watching a film where they were in California. Well, they were around the country. They were actually California, Michigan, and some other places where the need for the hormones was somebody was pushed to try to buy them in the street, to get them in the street, which is...
yes, what you can do. It's kind of scary.
It's kind of scary. What do you know? Yeah, I mean, to me, it makes me nervous because how do you know what you get?
Well,
Exactly.
also, it seems like you really need a lot of medical supervision while you're on there.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to do that without some great medical
Yes.
supervision. And
I had a talk with a friend last night who you all know, whose name I won't mention, a very long talk with him. I call him him. He's claims now to be a transsexual and certainly has a very strong feminine side and has decided now that he is going to transition and he is planning to get his medications without medical supervision, and I did certainly tell him that it's very dangerous. It can get you dead very easily, and so I had a long talk with him about that, and sort of steered him at some resources. There are resources that are out there, and I don't want to push them, that can help you if you're going to go that route. Certainly medical resources where you can get information that will help you do that and minimize risk, sort of risk management. But I don't want to...
Cost-effective type of places, like low income, if you had low income or no income, anything like that that you folks know about?
Not in Connecticut.
Not in Connecticut. Nothing in. I mean, we have Yale down here. We got Massachusetts. How about Massachusetts? My home state. We got anything up there?
I'm not sure about
Okay. I mean, we got Yale, Harvard. We got serious. We're in the area where education, medical stuff is world renowned with hospitals and everything. And I'm looking and I'm saying, man.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
there's nothing.
Got to go down to Yale and shake some